I just thought you'll start enjoying yourselves too much and forget the business we are in today. So we will enjoy the music after. We are talking about what next after job loss, and I'm really, really excited about this topic. It is a topic that is very close to my heart. Thank you, Agatha. She says the music was awesome. Good evening, Daniel Otieno. It's nice to see you again. Luke, good evening. It's good to see you as well. And then who is this? Michael Motia. Yes, we smile. Who else is there? Tarasian Jugona, good evening to you. How are you? All the way from the UK. Karibu sana. And I am really, really excited and looking forward to an engaging session. As always, you know the rules. We share the questions on the Q&A so that we are able to follow through. Charity Njering, good evening. Yes, the music was lit. Asante sana. It is important to remind people to smile, even when sometimes the clouds are hanging. Jacinta Kisungi, good evening to you. Asanteni sana for being here this evening, and we are so honored. Allow me to just get started in the interest of time. So you all know that this session is brought to you courtesy of Atara Solutions. By Atara Solutions, courtesy of Balcon Housing. Balcon Housing is giving us an offer. They are selling an 8-acre plot at 400,000 shillings with tailor-made installments for you. So if you're looking for a place to invest your money or you want to lipa pole pole, they have that organized for you. So, and this is somewhere near Olpajeta in the Nyuki. And for more information, you can call them on 0780-191-919 or 0789-636-363. 636363. That is their Airtel line. So we really are honored to have Balcon as a partner with us. Obviously, we've been celebrating our first year anniversary, and this has been a very, very exciting time. So I would like to just give a shout out to our partners on the first year anniversary. We have Kapula Mintito, who gave us a package for Jairus, who won their gift hamper. Thank you very much, Kapula Mintito. Kapula Mintito does, what do we call it? Runs errands for people in Mombasa and out of Mombasa. So if you're looking for somebody to run your small errands here and there, you can get in touch with Kapula Mintito. On top of that, they sell coastal goodies, your mabuyu, honey, kashata, cashew nuts. Please talk to Kapula Mintito. We have Current Technologies. Current Technologies, an engineering consulting firm who are in oil and gas industry. We have Stallion Construction Company. Stallion is a construction company, as the name spells, and they do construction of homes and houses and offices and all that. So if you're looking to renovate your place or you're looking for somebody to help you put up a building, speak to Stallion Construction Company. We obviously have Balcon Housing. Balcon Housing has been really, really an awesome, awesome partner. I do not know where we would be without them. Actually, most of this, their partnership has enabled us run the whole of season 2 so far. So we are really, really grateful to Balcon Housing. And then obviously we have Career Management Center. One of you tonight will get a chance to work with Jane Mutisia. I know for the people who've been here with us previously, have met Jane Mutisia. If it is your first time joining us, please check out our YouTube channel. We have Jane Mutisia, who is a career coach. She's also an executive coach, and she does coaching for people who are attending interviews. So because this is a session for people who are looking to get back on the track or pick up the pieces after job loss, we are going to get you to work with Jane Mutisia as well, so that you can at least get yourself to the next level. So then we have Favored Cakes and Caterers. Again, because we gave Solomon and he refused to pick up his cake, terms and conditions apply, so I'm gonna give it away today. Somebody who we have to give to this one. It's their birthday this week, so it will come in handy. And then we have GeoTrace. GeoTrace do car track and alarm systems. If you need your car installed, the alarm or tracking done, actually they have a giveaway for you, the audience. Some of you will get a chance to walk away to get their car alarm fixed. We have Shishi Naturals. Shishi Naturals and JC Beauty are into hair and beauty products, natural hair and beauty products. So if you're looking for your shampoos, if you're looking for, people who are natural, what is that? Team Natural. Yes, we got Shishi Naturals and JC Beauty who actually have offered us a gift hamper to you, our audience. So one of you, as we go along, will get a chance to win that. And then we have Octagon Africa. Octagon Africa does insurance and pension management and financial advisory. And if you're looking to on where to put up your pension, please get in touch with Octagon Africa. We hosted their MD a while back here. It was a very lit session. And then we have Pathway Solutions. Pathway Solutions has made our August excellent. They have been offering, I think we are about 12 people now have actually gotten a chance to train with Pathway Solutions on the first one was for HR professionals. Last week it was for sorry, I'm forgetting. Last week we started with HR professionals. Last week was for entrepreneurs. So, and I'm sure today we have some for the job seekers as well. So we have a gift for you. Hey, today you guys are lucky. And then obviously we have Sorel Laundry. Priscilla got a chance to walk away with a gift from Sorel Laundry. If you're in Ruaka or Kiambu Road and you're looking for somewhere to get your clothes done or your laundry, if you have a duvet, I mean, this weather is not for drying duvet, so you need yours washed. They actually are doing same-day delivery. They'll pick up your laundry, they'll clean, and they'll bring it back later in the day. So if you have your towels, your duvet, your bedding, your clothes, get in touch with Sorel Laundry. You can reach out. You can check them out on Instagram and Facebook, and you can also visit their shop. They're behind Quickmart in Ruaka. And then obviously we have Intercity Secure Homes. Thank you very much for your partnerships. Intercity Secure Homes is security company that offers total security solutions. So I decided to start off with acknowledging our partners because I do not want to go on to that today. So I can see you guys are all tuned in, and thank you very much for your patience and for just allowing us time to acknowledge our partners. So tonight we want to discuss what next after job loss. And my name is Grace Nzula. I am a HR consultant and trainer with Atara Solutions. I am also the host of this program. This program is called Get It Right with Atara Solutions. We are here every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and we demystify issues in entrepreneurship and employment. So for tonight, we have a very special friend of mine who is doing an excellent job, and I'm sure she'll be happy to share with you what initiatives she started and how she's supporting people who are seeking for jobs. Her name is Barnett Karanja. She is a corporate trainer and program developer with many years experience providing outstanding programs for companies. Bernadette has been in the corporate training field since 2014 and is known for her dynamic, motivating, inspiring, and presentation style. Previously, she worked in various capacities in both international and local organizations, which include AMC International in South Africa, AMREF Kenya, AR Services, ICEA Lion Insurance, Flying Doctors, Medicine Sans Frontiers in Holland, and International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, IFRC. She's currently a seminar facilitator and corporate trainer with College of Insurance. Barnett has so much to read about. Allow me not to go further than that. Meskia, you are in good hands. So, and for those of you who have, I don't know, some of you have been following Bernadette on LinkedIn, and you've seen the work that she's doing, but I'm sure she'll tell us more about that shortly. So Bernadette, how do we pick up the pieces? Do you know, I was looking at the statistics of the job losses, and especially with COVID, and it's really shocking. Surprisingly, we've been undergoing recession before COVID, actually. Yeah. This unemployment thing has been going on way before COVID. It's only that COVID accelerated it. So how do we pick up the pieces?
Thank you very much, Grace, for giving me this opportunity and for your participants always, I mean, I have a feeling they're very warm people and they have some loyalty to you. So when you call them, they come and they listen. And of course, you give them prizes. Now, when you said you'd like to hear what I do, and usually I know you do other stuff that's not related to this, I was not sure if, I didn't know which topic to pick. You told me pick the topic you want to pick, and I said, I have so many things I'd like to speak about, and you just told me just choose one. And I thought, we have talked so much about getting materials right, to get a job. We've spoken about too much about job searching. But my issue is people who we are asking to go out there and look for jobs are not emotionally and mentally prepared to go for another job. I know there's one of my clients who lost her job. She actually resigned. And that's one thing I've been telling people, don't resign without an offer letter. Even if how sure you are that you've even met the CEO who is in another country, please don't resign from your job before you get an offer letter. That's because things are changing overnight in companies. Donor funding is being reduced, or it's gone within 24 hours. And she was in such a bad state that I told her, you can't look for a job right now. You need to look for a counselor. If you go to your next employer and I can see from your CV that you're a performer, you're not going to perform in that company. You're going to go as a broken person and they won't know what to do with you. And of course, in this scenario where one person is doing the job of 4 people, I told her then you'll end up being fired, and at the end of the day, the people being fired even within 6 months of getting a new job. So I've gotten this concern, and I thought maybe it's because ladies talk and ladies are known as emotional. But I came to realize that we also have a lot of broken men out there, because we haven't allowed men to cry. We haven't allowed men to complain about stuff. We haven't allowed them to share their pain. When a man posted recently on LinkedIn that he broke down in the office, and because he saw his letter, because of the shock, and you could see it's his fellow men really, like throwing stones. I was actually so distraught, because I said, this guy hasn't even gone home to tell his wife that he lost his job. He has children, and yet we are here not even giving him the time or the space just to let it out. And I made a post and I said, I think we are becoming a society that is full of hypocrisy. When I commit suicide, people are going to come and say, oh, she should have asked for help. But when people go to Facebook, and that's why sometimes I'm not so much of a Facebook person, because someone comes there and asks for help, and 99% of what will be written keeps me awake at night. I don't know where we got there as a society, and I think we really need to change. But back to the subject. When you lose a job, people don't realize it's like losing somebody in death. It's grief. We need to allow people to grieve. I can lose a job and you can lose a job, Grace, but we will not handle it the same way. Probably I've worked in this job like for 10 years, and those are the only friends I have. I don't have a side hustle. I've never thought of myself having a side hustle. I have never thought of being myself, out there. And then there's also a percentage of us who have tied our personal worth, and especially Kenyans, I'm sorry to say, we have tied our worth to our jobs, our professions, whether I have a master's or a PhD, and then that's it. The other group at least try to go to church and become part of something. But a lot of us don't have anything else except a job. And that's something also we need to work on. What's your personal worth as a person? Who is Grace? Grace without a job, Grace without this. Who is Grace? Who are you? Can you walk around the street and feel your self-esteem is up there? Yeah. And I think it's how we were brought up. We were brought up to be better than, we were supposed to be number 1 and number 2. I don't know who else, because everybody, even leaders who are in various forums, they will say, I was always number 1 and number 2. I've never met someone who wrote a biography and said they were number 20 out of 24, or they were number 24 out of 24. And we need to normalize that not all of us can be number 1 and number 2. And I think that's where parenting failed. It started failing then. And we're seeing the failure again right now. So we are people who have tied our self-esteem, our importance to a job. And a job is not you. There are people I know who have been without jobs for 10 years, and their self-esteem is still together. They've tried this, they've tried that, they've tried the other. I wish I could mention someone here, but I don't think he's here today. He said he's tried so many things, and you should see his comments on LinkedIn. He's one of the most positive comment. I mean, I see a comment, I see a notification that he's written something. I stop what I'm doing to go and read. He is so positive, and he's failed over and over and over again. And now he's trying to get his footing. The good thing is that I think he's in mid-30s, which I say you can still pick up the pieces when you're there. Now, why are we speaking about this topic again? Because redundancies in Kenya are done in a very bad way. People are let go in a manner that's next to inhumane. A lot of people in this country are let go through emails, worst case scenario through an SMS. And I'm not talking about people working in, it's an organized place. This is a big corporation, and a HR manager will be told to, tell you to go home, and without a reason. And sometimes when the HR manager is actually apologetic and actually feels for you, but they say my hands are tied, and you are told to go, and that's it. It can be an SMS, it can be a letter you find on your desk. I know a lady I used to work with many years ago who was 7 months expectant, and she had to be taken to hospital emergency because she was in the list that was supposed to go. She just found a letter on her desk. And I think, and that was like 20 years ago, and it's becoming worse. The situation is becoming worse. I keep on challenging HR managers to do their work, to do what they went to school to do. They spend a lot of years even getting certifications, but they don't protect us. They don't comfort us. They don't listen to us. They don't call us for meetings to tell us, so maybe you should start try looking for another job in 3 months' time. There are ways of letting people go. So that's another reason why we are in this predicament. And I've seen someone write a comment here about I should speak about the skyrocketing suicides in Kenya. I really did a study. I did a study recently, and I realized that it's mind-boggling, and these things are not discussed in any platforms. That most of the people who are committing suicide are young men who are newly married in Kenya. So that's a perspective I never, ever, I would have thought it's probably people who are doing maybe substance abuse or people in the city because of the skyrocketing. Again, you should know Nairobi is one of the most expensive cities, is it in Africa or in the world to live in? If you live in Nairobi, you're actually rich. It's one of the most expensive cities to live in. So about the suicides, these are young men. Again, society pressurizes you by a certain age that you should marry. So this guy goes ahead and gets married with his little salary or none. And then we have we have girls, who are brought up, how do I put it? We overemphasized on the empowerment of the girl child and left the boy, because we thought a boy is a boy, atajiweza, and we have girls who have such expectations about what a husband should be. And I say that because we were brought up to think and to see that it's our fathers who remove the money from the pocket. I never asked my mother to pay school fees. It was not, even if she did somehow, she never let me know that she did. And so we have girls who've grown up in that environment where they know that the man handles everything. He's supposed to deal with the landlord, deal with the electricity, deal with the children, deal anything, and my man is mine. Those conversations, you'll find them. And again, I take it back to upbringing. So when this guy now marries, and then he finds himself in a situation where he can't cope with this life. And also we haven't learned, a lot of us do not have high emotional intelligence, in that I've not thought of what I'm telling Grace will hurt her, to what extent. We haven't measured, our empathy meter is very low. And you find a lot of people who commit suicide have some sort of mistreatment, done on them for a while. They've not just suffered for that period of time. They'll tell you, I've been through this, I've been through this. I have even gone to 5 people trying to get advice, and no one, even to get some help, and all they give me is advice, which is really not, okay. They can't, the advice we are given, and again, someone posted, a psychologist in LinkedIn, one of my followers, and he said, when someone comes to you and they say, I've lost a job, don't tell them, hata mimi nilikuwa hapo, na nimesurvive mpaka now. That is so cold. It's cold. You can't talk to someone like that. When someone comes to you and they've asked you a question like that, they're asking for help. That person is drowning, and they've thought of 50 other people they can talk to, but they chose you. So you are supposed to listen. Sometimes just listening is important. Listen, don't say anything, don't give advice that's unsolicited, and don't be in a rush to give a solution to this person. That's a mistake we make. So hata mtu akifiliwa, don't tell them, oh, it will be well, it is okay. Even me, I lost somebody like this and that. I think we need to stop there, because when you tell somebody that, when you address them in such a manner, then they close down and they shut down. If they go to 5 people who tell them the same thing. So what happens at the end of the day, this person sits down and starts thinking of, what other thing can I do? And they go into this shell. And once someone goes into a shell that nobody can remove them out of, and these people act very okay on top. But at the end of the day, suicide is not a one-day thing. It can even be a 10-year, 20-year thing of people not listening. People being judgmental. If you lose your job, nikufutwa alifutwa, we need to stop judging other people, and we need to stop giving advice. If you're not professional, I always say, if it's not in my domain and it's in Grace's domain, I will call and tell Grace, please handle this issue. The issues that cannot be handled, even for me as a coach, I refer to a professional psychologist, because I can really see where this thing is heading. And so when again, going back to the issue of why suicides are skyrocketing, is because of that. We are a society that is judgmental. And I always want to say, I'm a staunch Christian, but everything is not about prayer.
No, we seem to have lost Bernice. Can you hear me, guys? Is it my internet or our speakers? If you can hear me, please chat. Okay, fine. We seem to have lost Bernice, but I'm sure she'll be coming soon. Okay, so I can see it's not my internet. So Bernice has been talking about showing empathy and to people who have lost their jobs. We need to stop judging them. We also, I like what one of us has said on the empathy meter, but I want to ask, how did you pick up the pieces? How many of us have been fired? Let me just, for the lack of a better word, or rather lost our jobs. I know I was fired once, but how many of us have lost jobs? And I would like to take a live call as we wait for Bernice, of somebody to tell us how they were able to handle the loss. And just looking out for raised hands, and I'm sure the three that have raised right now were not raising to speak. They were answering something, because like I know some who had risen it. Yes. I lost a job last year. Somebody has said, have you found another job, or how are you dealing with it? And I would like to get somebody who can share with us from the audience. How did you deal with your loss of a job, if I may ask? Or what would you suggest for us to do as we pick up the pieces? I know the first thing that Barney said is we need to allow to mourn. I know personally, when I lost my job, I had expected that it was going to happen. I used to work for somebody who would get rid of women when they go on maternity leave. So I knew I wasn't going to be an exemption. I expected it to come, but the day I was called for that letter, it was actually a totally different ballgame. Like, no matter how ready I thought I was, it was still painful. And it felt like I had lost a piece of me. But my question is, and this is what coaches will ask you, when you start mourning, you need to define, what does this job loss mean to you? Is it the lost income, right? Is it the loss of income that you are mourning? And I can see Godfrey Otiato has his hand up. Godfrey, I'm gonna allow you to talk and tell us just how you handled your job loss. So Geoffrey, if you can unmute yourself. I have given you permission to talk. Just unmute yourself. Godfrey, are you with us? So as we continue with the discussion, I can see Lucy Kilo says, I did lose a job a couple of years back. Liz says, I lost one 10 years ago. Thanks for my family stood by me. But as I had a side hustle business, which I did for 2 years. So for you, what are you doing right now to prepare yourself in case you lose the job that you're doing right now? Nerea says, I think most of us, it's the loss of the consistent income and not knowing where to start. And I agree with you. I think most of us, it's the loss of the identity first. You know, we identified ourselves with this job and we are here and we cannot, we don't have what our identity was. Have you ever had people who introduce themselves every time, and especially for the retirees, with all due respect, they say, I am Grace Nzula, formerly of, because that is the only thing that you identify with. So, and question is to you right now, what have you defined yourself, and how have you identified yourself and packaged yourself in case you lose that job? The other thing is, welcome back, Bernice. The other thing is, how have you protected yourself from the loss of income? And I can see that Godfrey Otiato is actually ready to speak. So Godfrey, please, and oh, you put your hand down. Okay, sawa, no problem. So Charity, you want to speak? Let me allow you to talk as we hand into, just let's hear from Charity. Charity, where are you? Hi.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to say something about, someone asked about preparing yourself for job loss. Yes. I wanted to add and say, what I've been doing over the past year, I've been making sure that my CV is up to date. And every time I'm outside, I'm constantly networking with people who are working elsewhere. So that as wherever you're planning to stay the job 1 year, 2 years, you constantly have a network that you can bounce back to as you're mourning the current job loss.
Yeah.
Okay. And also at the same time, when you're in a job, practice something extra curriculum that is giving you a side income, something that is an emergency fallback for your mourning period before you get back into your career. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Charity. Thank you for your participation. Our speaker is back, Pole Sana. We understand sometimes technology plays tricks on us. So Pole Sana, you can carry on.
Okay, let me carry on. Mm-hmm. So we've talked about how as a society we need to treat people better. And again, don't tie your own, you have to learn. Don't tie your own worth to a job or your social status. For parents, I say, your child doesn't have to be number 1 or number 2. We have people who were number 20 and now they're the ones who are actually employing some of us. So we need to change that thing of competition. Life is not a competition. Don't teach your child. I was always raised by my father who said, compete against yourself. And that has really helped me with my life. I don't get envious about people. I don't, do underhanded deals in case, I'm in a certain workplace or feel that I'm beneath other people or superior to them. Because he told me you can only compete with yourself. You're just one person. There's no one on the planet like you. And I think parents need to go back to the drawing board and teach that, because a lot of what we are seeing right now is parental failure. So let me go back to number 2. Someone mentioned, was it Charity who mentioned about network and support system? Now, again, let me answer a question here. Someone was asking, what if I lost my job because my boss made me look incompetent? It will happen. Guys, it's going to happen. I've had good bosses, but not everyone will have a good boss. There are people who feel like you're going to overshadow them, so they can see your growth. They don't have a coaching mindset. When I trained leadership skills to our managers the other day in a parastatal, I told them, if you clone yourself, if you make clones of yourself like Grace, if you're unwell today or tomorrow, this show will still go on. But we want to be monopolies. We want to be like, one time when I was working in a company where the secretary would go home with the keys to the sugar, tissue paper, to everything, even printing paper, you want to cause a crisis because you want to feel important. That is not how to survive in the job place. You need to clone people to be like you. And that's how I have grown in my career up to where I am, because when I meet these girls and boys somewhere and they tell me this is what I do with my life right now, I stop on the street and just smile because I did something. I cloned myself, I mean, people need to have that mindset as HR, as not only HR managers, but as managers. They need to be taught that if you can't clone yourself, Jesus left clones of himself. He left disciples. If he didn't do that, his work would not go on. There would not have Christianity right now. That is the best and greatest teacher. Learn how not to feel jealous and try to make people look incompetent. Yeah. And I told the leaders there that if the managers there, if you clone yourself and the department can work without you, what else will happen to you? You'll automatically be promoted or poached by another company. People out here, they know, people speak. The industry is so small, ask Grace. The industries are so small, like where I work insurance. I mean, everybody knows everybody. You don't want to mess up at any point. And you just find someone calling you and saying, someone has referred me to you. And he's not even my friend. The person is not even my friend, but your reputation goes round. And I know managers who've been made redundant in the end after, actually, I think sacking almost half the department. But when they're not in the industry, they cannot get another job. That's what we forget, that your reputation will always be there. These industries are very small, and especially when you reach certain levels of professionalism, you are known by everybody. So your behavior, I know companies where they even look at how you behave on weekends. And there are places you're not supposed to be seen. You can't go binge drinking. You can't go do funny stuff because that's your brand. And it's affecting the company's brand. So network, but also as we network, we need to check who are our networks. Someone told me once, a trainer, many years ago when I was a new manager, that if you sit in a group of people and you're the king and they respect you so much, they want to bow down to you, then you are the king of fools. You have outgrown that group. we don't look for people who are higher above us. We always want to look for peers, people who can cheer us on. We say we want to go out this weekend. They say, oh yes, let's go out, you know. That's for young people especially. And even for older people, you want to be seen as the one who gives advice. Why don't you go to a place where you feel like you know nothing? I'm currently undergoing some training somewhere, and when this trainer talks, I feel like I'm just starting out. You know, I feel like, I tell him, even send me that PowerPoint, you know, my students do. And I tell him, please repeat there. And he given an assignment, and I told him, I can't do this an assignment overnight. I need to go think about it. You need to work with people. You need to change the people you're working with. You need to work with people who think different. 3 steps higher, 5 steps higher than you, because you will never move. You will not meet this other person who knows this other person, who knows this other person, and that is networking. 85% of jobs right now are being filled by networking. Don't be fooled by anybody. Anything you're seeing as an ad, and you apply for it, it's only 15% of those jobs that are being filled by people who are not in their networks. When you see a lot of those ads, some of them are just PR exercises. When the auditor comes, then they need to see it was advertised. Yeah. So who is in our network, and how do we network? That's also a topic for another day, which I can't talk about now. But we need you know people around you, even if it's your relatives or your cousins or your neighbors. Go and look for somebody who knows something you don't know. Someone who, when you look at them, you feel, my self-esteem is not at par. I'm not, you know, with this person. We are not together. That is a person who you need to work with. And these people are very proud to do that. You'll be amazed at how many people want to mentor others, but a lot of us are not ready psychologically for mentoring. So I talked about grief. Give yourself time to grieve. Take 2 weeks off. Don't stay in the same house you're staying in. Leave everybody at home and go somewhere. Maybe go visit your mother. It doesn't matter how many years you are and you still have your mother alive. Please go visit her. Please go to another place, even if it's to your sister's place or somewhere else. I told somebody, you need time to grieve. You need time to go somewhere, isolation, even if your phone will not be working. You need that so that you can be ready for what's coming next. What's coming next could be a very big door. You won't be able to handle that door of opportunity if you're broken down. You need to have the mental strength to be able to handle a big opportunity. So also, as we pray for big opportunities, they will not come if you're not ready for them. Then number 3 was deal with your debts. And that's one thing that really breaks a lot of us. We come out with a lot of debts. We've been given mortgage, we've been given, you know, a car loan, we've been given all this. Probably we have been given a company car, you know, we were living in luxury, literally, you know, living a good life. Our kids were going to good schools. So deal with debts, go to the bank, tell them I'm not working anymore, write them a letter. I'm not working anymore. And also remember, what I didn't mention before is that in Kenya right now, for you to get a job, to get another job after you've lost your job, take a minimum of 6 to 1 year. If you get another job between 6 to 1 year, you're very fortunate. You're extremely fortunate. Give yourself up to 2 years to get another job. I tell my clients that, and some of them break down on phone because they can't believe it. But that's the reality. I will not lie to you. I will not lie to you because I'm revamping your CV and I want to revamp your CV, or you want to give me referrals. I will tell you the truth because you'll come back tomorrow and thank me that I did you well. I know a lady who couldn't speak on phone after I told her, your job is going to be swallowed up under another job. You know, and I'll say it here, people who are doing HR and supply chain management, a lot of them are out of jobs right now because their jobs are being swallowed up by other jobs. They'll go under finance and they'll go under HR. And someone told me, you know, someone who was bold enough told me, in fact, it's true. You've spoken the truth. But one lady couldn't finish a conversation with me on phone and she broke down because she couldn't imagine how much she has spent to be able even to educate herself and take herself to school. And now this job may be no more. So I'm telling them, you know, reroute, do something else. You really have to look for something else to do. I will not lie to you. Some of these jobs are going to be, extinct. And when we were used to see those articles, Grace, I'm sure, we used to see that jobs would be extinct in the next 5 years. We didn't take it seriously until now, when we see that you wake up overnight and your job, even if you have a master's, it's been swallowed up literally by another department or even by another person. The finance person is given, apparently here now, supply chain management, people are reporting to HR, and someone called me and said, how does that work? And I said, well, it's because of the budget. It doesn't make sense, but that's how the world is right now. So deal with debt, go to your creditors, tell them this is what is happening. They prefer you to do that than them coming looking for you at home. So tell them this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going through. And then work on a personal budget. I remember I told you, give yourself 2 years maximum to get a new job. Give yourself minimum of 1 year. So that this is what it means. I'm living in a house that's 40,000, 100,000, 25,000 rent. So what it means, and this is the grim reality, is that I need to move out of that house ASAP. Don't accumulate rent arrears. Don't let your kids see you being thrown out of the house. Yeah? So I know we want to have hope and we want to have this faith that things are going to work out soon. But for me, I say, I lose my job today, I move out of that house. If I have a car, I sell it. Yeah, if I have anything else that I can sell for the time being, at least for the kids to go to school, which is the priority, and that we can have a meal in the house, do that. Don't wait for 1.5 years to accumulate so much rent, you don't know what to do. I know I have a client who's an accountant and he's accumulated so much rent and the only work he can do is mjengo. And I want to say this because of the young people who are watching today. Kazi ni kazi. Kazi ni kazi. We need to go back to that mantra that it's not about my degree. And parents need to understand, and I wrote to them the other day that when your child comes home and says, I want to open kibanda somewhere, or I want to sell smokies, or I want to open a dressmaking, I want to go and repair people's clothes, or I want to wash people's carpets, and could you buy me this machine? Please don't throw a tantrum. This is where the problem begins. So we have a lot of youth seated down in their homes because their parents don't want to be seen as watu watasema nini, watu wa kanisa watasema nini, nitakuwa napitia wapi. We need to stop that. And I still take it back to parenting. We need to change. Where we did a mistake, we need to go and change it. Because this society, what we are putting the young people through is really not fair. So if he wants to go and become, if you want to go and he wants to go and sell his smokies, please let him do. Remember Chris Kirubi sold insurance? And apparently a lot of people who start selling insurance, I don't say this because of Grace, a lot of parents will not want their children to sell insurance because people will be seeing you looking dusty. I have sold insurance, and that's where I learned most of the skills I use in my business today. It taught me resilience. Trust you me, an insurance person, mtu anajua where the client is, hata kama hakuna matatu maduthi, you will walk, you will not feel the rain. Like for me now, you tell me it's raining, I'm like, okay, sawa, I don't notice rain. I don't notice the heat, not because I didn't have, I'm going to change to that job because I wanted the money. I could see how much insurance people are paid. But right now, I advertise and I advertise and I advertise for insurance agents, and my friends in the industry tell me, Bernadette, just get me one agent. I won't even get one person applying. But when I put up a HR officer overnight, I put in a post at midnight. In the morning, there are 7,000 views. We need to change our own mindset. Where there's money is in insurance. Let me tell you guys, the people who are paid their crazy money, 6 figure salaries, just that maybe one day I'll do something with Grace just to have different people seeing how much they earn, if they can be able to say, and we do something different to show that it's not about having a rocking chair in the office. In fact, it's not even there anymore. And companies, by the way, are not going back to office, working from the office. We are going to work from home until kingdom come. They have seen they can afford those rents. They have seen kumbe people can work at home and deliver. So we are not going to go back to the offices. We are at home. So when I talked about a personal budget, please move out of that house. Don't wait for it to accumulate arrears. If you're used to eating out, going out a lot, and this is something as Kenyans we love to do. It's not bad, but we need to cut down on that. Eating out is very expensive. Going out is very expensive. Sit down with your children and your spouse, and please don't be like the guys who walk around with a sack letter in the pocket for 6 months before the wife knows. And also when I'm also with ladies, I tell them, please, a man is not worth his check. I don't even think when you were getting married that came up. In fact, if someone had told you not to marry that man, some of them were threatening to end their lives. And even some even eloped to the guy. But now, because he has lost a job, his worth is over. We all have to, we have a role to play with the mess that's happening. I know a man who was sacked and in the morning, and he took the whole day roaming around in town, could not go home to the wife to tell her that he had lost his job. We need to change the way we treat each other as a society. A man is not worth his job. Ask anybody who's a widow. Ask anybody who's a widow. A man is not worth. It's not about the check. When that man dies is when you realize I would have better off have had him even without that job. And there are things he can do. In fact, a lot of things out there, Juakali, it's for men. Women don't have as much. I don't think we have a lot of Juakali, we do. But men have a lot of Juakali things you can do. Encourage him to do something and allow him to grieve. Allow him to go through his process of not talking, of not wanting to be in the house, with the children and the house girl. They don't like that. Allow him to be him. Let's allow people, let's accommodate people. I always say, and what makes me humble in life is to say, what if it was me? What if I'm the one who didn't have a job and he's been feeding me? A lady who I buy fruits from told me her husband lost a job many years ago and she supports him up to today. And I asked her why. And that's also what Nyachaye's wife said. And this is also a lesson for men. Because Nyachaye's wife said, Nyachaye invested in her. So it's also for men. If you also need loyalty, please also invest in these families. Empower your woman to go for some course. Don't just let her sit there as a housewife because you want her to sit there as a housewife and be submissive to you. Empower her to stand in when you can no longer do these things, okay? So we said about if you have a car, you can sell it off. If you have a plot, you can sell it off. And also about insurance, please continue paying your NHIF. I've seen things go very bad, from bad to worse, when suddenly someone is admitted and they don't even have an NHIF card. That's a priority. We also talked about, I also put out here about talk to children. Children understand. Children understand when mommy or daddy does not have a job. You might think that they don't have the information, but they don't know how to ask it from you. They can tell. There's no one who has a stronger sixth sense like a young child. Let them know. And also tell your relatives so that they don't call you for all the funerals. Now there's so many funerals and things going on. Let them know you don't have money. It's okay. It's okay that you don't have the money. So that they don't call you for every other thing and expect you and to be there. And when you're not there, they think that you're being mean. So again, Charity's talked about embarking on your job journey. She said it very well. Carry your CV the way you carry your ID. I will not talk about revamping CVs. It has been oversaid, over discussed even on LinkedIn. We did it the other day also with another lady. But for me, I would say it's change your mindset about yourself, because if you don't change your mindset about yourself, nobody else will see you as worthy. It has to start with you. And don't attach, we are changing mindsets now, don't attach your worth to a job. The reason again, not because of COVID only, you could get sick tomorrow. You could get infirm. You could get into an accident. Then what? Do you lose your worth? Doesn't mean you're worthless. So we need to rethink. We need to rethink and re-engineer our minds and our thought processes. We need to leave some things that are very backward. You know, as I said, when a man loses his job, then he becomes like, you know, he's not worthy anymore. And also for ladies, I say, this is the time we need also to wake up, all of us. If you're a housewife and you're seated somewhere listening to me, please go and do something. Things now are very thick and they're not going to get better. In fact, someone said, a financial analyst I know said 2021 is easy. 2022 is when we'll know that the rubber meets the road. So let's, all of us in the house, come with something to the table. And there's nobody who doesn't have skills. You'd be amazed that some of the people who make a lot of money probably don't even speak good English. You know, they were not taken to a school which was high end. You know, they were not taken to a Catholic missionary school. They were taken to a school next door. You know, probably like what we call now the government free primary education. And what the person sits there and gives you an idea. He's actually the one who now gives work to consultants like us to strategize on what that idea of his, and he's paying us. So it's nothing to do with where we went to school. We need to break down those barriers in our minds that I've also had when you go for a job interview, some HR asking or a manager asking, which high school did you go to? You know, we need to remove all those things because those are the things that are causing the mess that we are in. We need those youth to leave the house and go outside to do some work. We need the men who are busy, men who are feeling down, they started drinking, are not known where they are. We need to bring them back home. We need to take care of them. A lot of suicides that are being done now in Kenya are men across the board. We need to think through it. It's another topic that I'm not a professional counselor, but we need to see and change how we're treating the boy child from when he's very young to the ones we have in our houses who are fathers, our uncles, our brothers, our husbands. Yeah, but for me, my parting shot will be, let's change our own mindsets. When I change mine and Grace changes hers and another one changes hers, I think that's enough because you start spreading this good vibe around and it just catches up with people. That's a beauty of mindset. It's not, it's something that happens and you'll notice it when you enter into a room. People have to feel a certain vibration about you. If they don't feel it, then you don't have a different mindset. You need to be that person, wherever you are, to try and at least, you know, manage this situation. We may not be able to do it, you know, because it's a system problem, but I always say you can save one person, you can save one soul. You can make one person's life better. I don't need, when I started a hashtag Open to Work Kenya, I was looking for a maximum of 50 people. I was looking for people we can network, the way I network with Grace and others, you know, but I didn't know that it was a need because remember I came from corporate. Corporate is very comfortable. We hatujui mashida ya huku chini. So when I started doing this, I realized it's actually changed me as a human being. It's actually changed me how I treat people, how I do not judge people anymore before I hear the three sides of a story. And I know that you don't need to give someone money to help them. People don't want money. It's not money they need. They need you to listen, share with them, like, you know, don't be a doctor. Just sit with them, even if you're a career coach or, you know, you're a mentor somewhere. Sit with them, listen to them, and just share with them. And people love it. I have seen people come to me and they tell me, I mean, I'm done. I'm not going to apply for any more jobs. And we talk with them once, twice, 3 times. And the next time someone tells me I have a job. It's mindset. Sometimes those people have not even revamped their CV. They couldn't even afford a CV revamp. They didn't even want one. They're tired of doing it, you know? And with that unrevamped CV and with their cover letter, the best they wrote it, they will go out there and get a job. And I got this message when I sometimes get tired and I said, God, this is too heavy for me. And on Sunday, I went to my WhatsApp and this guy says, imagine I got a job. You know, imagine I got a job as a HR officer. But I told him, I could say you have changed. You have grown your mindset. I could say your comments have changed, even on LinkedIn. You are more, you are more on the positive side. When you comment and you're a young man on LinkedIn, you spread this positive vibe. And I told him, I'm not surprised. It's your mindset that changed. It's not anything else. It's not the CV. It's not the cover letter that you took there because it was not revamped. But your mind was revamped. Thank you, Grace.
Wow. Wow. Today we are having the candid conversation. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you for highlighting what your experiences have been. I know your LinkedIn network has been growing by the day. And I know you're also making impact and changing lives, which is really, really something I totally admire. So, and I have seen quite a number of comments. Just before we read the comments and take in a few questions, I know it's already 9. Allow me to just remind you, this session is brought to you courtesy of Balcon Housing and Stallion Construction Company. Balcon Housing is a real estate company that deals with selling of land, and right now they have an offer for listeners of Get It Right. This is what they are selling: an 8-acre plot in Nanyuki for 400,000 shillings with tailor-made installments for you. So if you're looking to invest for your retirement home or a country home, or just to own a piece of land to add into your property, so that just in case you lose your job, you have something you can sell off, you can actually get in touch with Balcon Housing. They'll be able to sort you out to that end. Other than that, allow me to also, before we take in the question, I hope you give me about 10 minutes. We have 2 offers for you. The first offer is on, it's Agatha's birthday tomorrow. Agatha Kibai, I want to gift you the cake that was given to us by Favored Cakes and Caterers, who were celebrating the 1-year anniversary with us. So Agatha Kibai, I want to offer you the cake. I know it's your birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday from Get It Right with Atara Solutions and Favored Cakes and Caterers. They'll be honoring you with a cake on your birthday to celebrate this milestone. So congratulations. Thank you for actually commenting on our YouTube channel. That is just all she's done. And she was also kind enough to tell me that our comments were turned off. I did not know. So I really, really appreciate that. So on top of your birthday, thank you for letting me know that our comments were turned off. And you also commented on what you could. So thank you very much. Yes, for everybody, you stand a chance to win by either being here, because I'm about to offer a live audience some free goodies, and then just for staying with us. And at the same time, for commenting or liking our YouTube channel or our social media pages, you get a chance to win something. So before I give out the giveaways for trainees from by Pathway Solutions, I've seen the MD actually commenting here, and he gave a very good comment. Frank also said, also think out of the box, become innovative and creative, and create opportunities. Don't wait always to be employed. Growth mindset is key. I think that was very valuable. Thank you, Frank of Pathway Solutions. Thank you for your partnership. You've really been very kind to our listeners, and you are also full of wisdom with your comment right now. So I'm just trying to find, there are people who are asking about being in a toxic environment and quitting. And I know Bernice has talked about that kidogo. However, we did a full session with a psychologist on managing toxic workplaces. So as soon as the webinar ends, if you're the one, I will put in the link so that you can follow up and actually get an in-depth on that. If you've been out of employment for about 5 years, please, by a show of hand, I mean, if you've been out of employment for 3 years, 3 years, 3, please lift your hand. Stella Njue, I will gift you something. And Vincent Ogutu, come on, I know you have not been out of a job. I know you're running a business. Wacha maneno. If you have been out of a job for 3 years and you have not gotten a job, Stella Njue, I hope you know Jane Mutisia. Stella Njue, you'll get a chance to work with Jane Mutisia to organize you or coach you for your next job. And you can check out Jane Mutisia. You please email me. If you hear your name, please make sure you email me tonight to claim your prize, because terms and conditions apply. So besides that, just let me take one question. Because today was more of thinking than actually, it was more thought-provoking than just giving you what to do. There's somebody on toxic environment. Okay, there's somebody, two toxic environments. Oh my God. John Noane says, some HR professionals and managers have deceptive heart. They show you love in their presence, but talk ill about you in your back. Sacking you without showing empathy is nothing. I'm looking for the comment by Anne, who said that what if you're the HR and you have to deliver the bad news and people think it's easy for you because you've been doing it for others? How do you handle this? And maybe you can answer that. Yeah, here it is. How do you handle the situation if it happens to you as an HR and the management thinks that you can handle the loss since you are a HR professional? Go ahead and answer that, Bernice.
Okay. What's her name?
Anne.
Anne. So I think one thing I feel, and I really feel for HR managers and officers, is you've been turned into clerks. You know, someone wants to like turn you into sort of a messenger. I think there needs, and I've told HR managers this, I think these guys have refused to give you a seat at the table. I know there's IHRM and other bodies. I think you need to start an advocacy because you need to sit on that table. You can no longer spend all those years going to school and getting certifications and getting all these other trainings you do, and then someone makes you their clerk and their messenger, also damaging your reputation, damaging your own self-esteem, and damaging your confidence because you won't sleep that night, especially because for you as a HR, remember you're also a human being, and probably you like this particular person, you know. We are allowed to like people and not like others, you know, and you're wondering, and maybe you know the situation of this lady or this gentleman, and they've shared with you, maybe they take care of a sick spouse and a spouse who's chronically ill and all that. And I'm thinking you're going to deliver that letter. For me, I'm too emotional. I think I would have a breakdown. So you guys need to do an advocacy. You know, the way we are doing it with Grace and other ladies online about bringing these issues to the fore. Remember, when things are discussed, people desist from bad behavior. It's automatic. It's an emotional response. It's a psychological response. I remember once when someone wrote, someone had a very bad experience, and I changed a few things and I posted it because I didn't want his life to be in danger. And someone came in who, sorry to say, was from that nationality that is in Kenya, you know, from that background. And he made a very funny comment, which made me think, so this guy's story is true. And later on, the thing that had been done to him was undone. So what I'm saying, Grace, is that we don't speak about these things, it's going to get worse. The HR people are too quiet. Some of us are always speaking on their behalf. And I see they will read my comment, but none will comment because, of course, what I'm saying is that, can these people just have an advocacy body and just move and just say, we demand a seat at the table. We are tired of being used in this way. We went to school like the rest of people here. Some of us even have almost PhDs. But we can't just sit here and you just make us into, messengers and clerks, because, and I don't know where HR dropped the ball, but where they drop the ball, they need to go and get it. It's getting worse and worse. Yeah.
Allow me to also just chip in, because I'm a HR professional. I think the one thing that HR people need to understand is, first of all, you are a caregiver. And as a caregiver, you also need an outlet. So besides being an enforcer or an implementer of policy, you're also a caregiver. So when this happens to you, you actually need to also have an outlet. In a therapist, in a coach, in a friend, in a mentor, you need to have an outlet where you can share this experience, because you are human. You are human. Accept that you are human. Accept that this has happened to you, regardless of your power. This has happened because it has happened. So it doesn't matter what position you are holding, because I've seen CEOs get fired as well. So you have finished declaring redundancies, you've restructured and everything, and then pap, you're asked to fire. You are either fired or asked to fire yourself. I've seen this happen to CEOs and HR professionals. So you need to also extend the same empathy to others, to yourself, and be a caregiver to yourself as well. There's one interesting question. Vincent, I've seen you asking for Bernice's number. I'll give it to you. At least I know you, whatever. And Vincent is actually the guy who wrote Sacked So What? We actually hosted him about 2 months ago. He wrote a book, Sacked So What? Which is quite what you've talked about here, and a few other pointers he's given in his book. It's a very, very beautiful read. I'll connect you guys. I think you can have a lot in common. Sarah is saying, I am not business savvy. So how can I develop business mindset as I look for a job? Before we answer Sarah, we hosted Engineer James Mwangi, who talked to us about transitioning from employment to entrepreneurship. Maybe some of you need to actually visit our YouTube channel and get to understand this. But in your own terms or language, Bernice, how do we help Sarah become business savvy as she looks for a job?
Okay, it's not easy doing business, whichever business it is. And that's why most people would prefer to be employed 8 to 5. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to start. But I had tried starting that initiative on my group, but I got too busy. But I can try and see whether I can get an organization that, I know there's a lady who had approached me some time back, but not in Nairobi, where we can get mentors. We can work around it, where we can get mentors for them in business, because like my schedule is completely full, because they need someone to walk them through, like a 3 month, 6 month, 1 year, 2 years journey. Because most businesses in Kenya, 75% of them die before they are 1 year old. So that's an initiative I don't think there are people really doing it, but it's something maybe, Grace, we can talk about and see what we can do for them, because business is not easy, but once you get into business, ask Grace, you can't go back to being employed by somebody. Your money is really sweet. And you can say, today I have a headache, nitalala,
Yes.
Yeah, but also it requires a lot of financial discipline, because you won't have a paycheck at the end of the month, and sometimes you end up being being in debt, not having this and that. But that's why, and that's a part of training. How do you get into business? And number one thing I learned, I think there's a lady also I've thought about, I think we can do that with her. One thing she says, and she has a running business for a number of years. She says, and I don't even think she went to university, but that girl has a brain that's what I'm saying. We overplay this thing of going to school and all that. Those are the only people with some sort of wisdom. She says, don't borrow money to start a business. Don't borrow money to start a business. And what I didn't say, again, there's some assets that we may have. Let's say you have a compound. Why don't you try and keep some chicken? I know chicken are not the very best. They're not very easy to keep. but why don't you try something with an asset that you have? You have some land, you have an empty room somewhere, you have something else. But long and short of it, Grace, is that I'll try and see whether I can try and organize someone who can put them through that, because that's another big project altogether.
Let me also save you on that. I have quite a number of people who do business mentorship and coaching. You can get in touch with me. Maybe I'll be able to link you up. However, to come to your aid, next Tuesday, we are discussing passion profit, how to turn your passion into profit. And we are hosting Madam Frida, who does passion profit.
Don't miss that
next
one.
week, yes, please do not miss that one, because it will actually help you on that. But if you're looking for more information, you can actually get in touch with me. I think we have quite a number of organizations who work with people who want to start up. But mostly, like Vanessa said, it's more about mindset. But there's one question here, and I think it's very, very key that we answer. Hannah is saying, my contract ends in September. I am an intern, and I have not been able to perform the tasks I have. And I'm not sure what happens after September. What do I do?
Okay, we are in August. Wow. It's hard to know what's happening around her case and advice right now, but she can have my contacts and we can talk. But maybe for the sake of someone who's going through that, I know she feels like she'll be let go. That's a general feeling I feel about her. Number one thing, and she says that she has not been able to do what she was supposed to do. Number one, the problem could have been starting from onboarding, and I've worked in a place, I tell you, where my computer took, and this is a management position, my computer took, I think, 3 weeks to a month before it arrived, and I have targets. So there are many issues that people go through before you are let go at the end of the day. It could be lack of support from the manager, because for me, I say, if someone is working under me and they're not performing, either I got the wrong person for the job, because probably her personality and skill set is not for that job. And again, maybe what I've not said is that not everyone can do any job. The fact that you're seeing Grace hosting this doesn't mean that you can go out and host it. She has her own personality traits that are natural. So go home today, tomorrow, do a personality test and see what kind of environment is good for you. Are you a business person? Are you somebody who can work alone? What kind of environment should you be working in? Under what kind of boss should you work under? Because some of us are even scared of those bosses, that we don't even perform. We're always thinking, oh God, they've just passed here, they've just in their office. So what are the issues surrounding her being let go? But what I'd like to encourage her is that some doors are better shut. Some doors are better shut. And I think you can give her my contact and we talk about it, because there's so many things. I can't really give advice on something that I haven't gone through with her and checked what the problem was. Because when they took her on board as an intern, they must have known that she'll do the job. And again, an intern is not supposed to have KPIs and benchmarks and all that. So unless it's a financial issue in the company where they're trying to mask it, as non-performance, which companies do, it's very hard to answer that question, honestly, with my conscience being clean. I need to talk to her and find out what exactly is going on.
Okay, so Hannah Njenga, you can please email me. I'm sure all of you have my email address, grace@atarasolutions.co.ke. Email me and I'll hook you up with Bernice so that you can have a conversation further from this. And let me just take the last question. Okay, Bernice, you can type your LinkedIn link on the chat.
Okay, let me see.
You can just paste it there. I have also shared our YouTube link so that you can we've done managing toxic workplaces. We've done bouncing back to employment after a gap. We've done transitioning from employment to entrepreneurship. We've also done today's, which was picking up the pieces. We will actually, I've seen somebody asking whether we'll get a recording. Yes, we will. But the last question I want to take before I take that last question, allow me to be generous. So today, Pathway Solutions is actually giving us a chance to win and get trained for 2 courses to 4 people. So they are giving us hiring for success, behavior interview techniques. They're also giving us mastering job interviews. We have working smarter using technology to your advantage. We have performance management. We have entrepreneurship 101. We have, oh yeah, Nani, who is that? Sarah. I'm going to give you entrepreneurship 101 as part of this. So Sarah, please get in touch with me. I'll hook you up with Pathway Solutions for entrepreneurship 101 and any other course that you choose from this. Allow me to just give that Sarah that directly. Hannah as well, because of the scare that you have about losing your job in September. Hannah, please, this is also your chance. So 2 people. So I am left with 2. Can you see what we are dealing with there? And I can see 3 participants have raised their hands. Let me just see who those are so that you can claim your prize. I mean, we are generous people. So we've been fortunate enough to have Pathway Solutions with us. Oh my God, I can't gift everyone. Who has raised hands? Oh my God, I'm just gonna have to pick the people on top. But you guys have seen what Pathway Solutions is offering us. Right. Let me just go back on chat and see who has raised hands. Charity, you are our winner before, so I'm not gonna gift you again. You won already. Let me see. Where are we? William Gitonga did it before. Pauline Mutu. No, wait. Sorry, Pauline. Who did I gift? Jane Mutisias? I've forgotten. I hope it's not Sarah. No, it's not Sarah. Okay. So Gordon Ramogi and Abednego Mumo. Allow me to just gift those ones. I have left out, Pauline, I'll find you a gift because we picked 2 ladies. It's only fair that we picked 2 gentlemen. So Sarah, Hannah, Gordon and Abednego, you are our lucky winners of the training from Pathway Solutions tonight, and you get a chance to be trained for free with Pathway Solutions. So please email me tonight so that you can claim your prize together with I have forgotten the name of the person I gifted, Jane Mutisia's Stella Njue. Yes, Stella Njue and the 4, and then Agatha Kiba, you also get a cake. Oh my God, I have so much for you guys. So thank you very much. Bernice, the last question was, what did I ask?
And there's one more also I've seen.
So I've been working in an organization for over 10 years, no promotion, minimal salary increment. I don't feel motivated. I'm thinking of quitting to entrepreneurship. Is it right?
Okay, one thing I didn't mention is that I have a lot of people who are very jittery about the redundancies going on. And it's people in middle management and upwards. You'd be surprised. I know people would get surprised to hear that. People are very uncomfortable and everybody is trying to run like headless chicken. It's not on the lower roles, but middle management upwards. Because this is not something we've seen before. Before we'd lose a job and your middle management, and tomorrow Grace calls me and says, take your send me your CV, I send it somewhere, and tomorrow you are told report. It was easy for anybody, who had reached that part, of their of employment. The rest of wananchi were busy struggling, so they knew how to get their way around. So I have people trying to run away from their jobs, and I'm telling them, please stay on. As long as you're not being, abused, in any way, and you can continue working and you're getting your pay, for now, please stay on. Move in 2023. I know sometimes they say things that are not very palatable, but don't fall into the trap of fear. Fear is an enemy. You can fear something that's not there. I remember even where I stay one time, long time when we were kids, we were told there's a lion that is walking around that estate. And people went indoors very far. People came home very early. You know that Kenyans can come home that early. You know, I think even the pubs in the area were not working, you know, and the marketplaces, everybody, because there was a lion spotted walking. And that's how we are behaving, because there's a lion spotted walking somewhere. I say one thing, and I always say it: keep your sobriety. It doesn't matter what people are shouting out there. And I'll say something that also that has saved me my mental stability and mental health is that I don't watch too much news. I don't do too much social media. And I don't do, there's some I don't mention here, but they might say that I'm making them lose their market. The only thing I think I can do is KBC Sundowner, you know? And you know why I say that? Research has shown that what you consume mentally on a daily basis is going to make you react in a way that it's not that you want to, but at the back of your mind, something is processing. There is fear. There's a lion walking around. There's a lion walking around. It's repeated over and over and over. What happens is that you stop appreciating where you are and you think that I want to go outside somewhere else because the place there has zebras and there's no lion that has ever been spotted. That's the danger we are having now. I have a lot of people who even get annoyed with me when I tell them, please don't leave your job. Don't try it. I have people who are in banks who want to leave and try a business. You don't just jump into business. Businesses take 2 years before they pick up, you know, and not in this economy. We are talking about entrepreneurship. Yeah, we're talking about entrepreneurship for people who have nothing else to do. And those are the ones we are going to handhold. But we are not going to handhold people who have good jobs. Salaries come on 25th or 30th, when some people have not been paid for 7 months in this country. Please don't do that to yourself. I know sometimes you feel like you've hit a wall, but sometimes it's better you hit the wall, because sometimes you may end up hitting nothing and falling into a river and drowning. Let's be sober. Let's not approach this life with desperation. And I always ask people, do you have time to have a meeting with yourself? Do you know your strengths? Do you know what upsets you? I know people who can't watch news and go to sleep. Like for me, I can't. I'll start thinking, oh dear, what happened to that lady? Why did that, you know, why are people killing their families? Why is this going on and this going on? Because when I did again a personality test, I realized that I'm taking people's pain too much, and that's not healthy. So I have to work on it. So what's your personality type? And what do you consume? What do you take in? When you meet people on the road, do you want to talk about COVID? Please stop talking about COVID. I mean, we're living with this animal. And there's no lion walking around. We're living with this COVID. It's okay. Things are fine. We're not politicians. Let them do their thing in 2022. For us, our life will still go on. Don't get involved in stuff that doesn't directly affect you. Yeah, what are we consuming, Grace? I don't know what people are reading. I've seen someone here saying you also need to seek God first as well. Matthew 6:33. He says he will provide. Do we read this book? We're always in church on Sunday, but do you understand the gravity? Why Jesus talked about it in Matthew 6:33, that you just put his kingdom first and he's going to take care of your needs, that your Father knows what you need. Keep on repeating that to yourself. Your Father knows what I need. My Father knows what I need. My Father knows what I need. And stop listening to what, oh, there's so much garbage on social media. It can grow you, you know, you can get gray hair or alopecia just by reading it. So, and I don't know, this comment has been made by somebody. Yeah, it says avoid bitterness, live a balanced life. It's Frank Wambari. Yeah. Try and have a confidant. Yeah. People say, oh, you people cannot be friends. People can be, look for friends. Friends are there. Yeah, someone you can call in the middle of the night at midnight and you can't sleep and you're breaking down. Those friends are there. And he says, forgive the HR or boss. We can't move on if we don't forgive people. Please don't carry that burden. That burden is theirs. Yeah. And I love the way he's put it, Matthew 6:33. I think that's my last parting shot. Go read it. Have that vision of Jesus speaking there about lilies and birds. If these birds who don't even, I don't think they pray or they do nothing much, even vegetation of the field are so beautiful. What about you, who he sent his son to die for? Aren't you just worth it, whether you have a job or not? When you start thinking that way, do you know things start coming to you, opportunities? As I told you, people that I coach and I just talk to, no revamped CV, someone just calls me and says, I got a job. And for me, I'm thinking, I thought there were no jobs. It's a mindset. Change your mindset, but don't leave your job to go into business, please. If you want to do it in 2023, after watching how things turn out. Because remember, we're going to a year where the dollar plays up and down, we're not sure. And a lot of people now tell me they want jobs in NGOs. I know NGOs who have pulled out their cash already and they're not extending their funding. Don't try an NGO job right now. If they're here listening to me, I'll say it, please don't move from a permanent job to an NGO job or entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is only for people who are out of jobs. They have tried. As Grace is saying, put up your hand, those 3 people for 3 years. Those ones need real hand holding because they have tried everything. Trust me, they have tried keeping chicken, they have tried peanut butter, they have tried Team Natural, kuuza vitu zao, they've tried everything. That's why we are holding their hand, but not for somebody with a permanent job. Please don't leave your job. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Bernice. Aki, it's 9:30, and I have seen somebody asking how often should you revamp your CV? If you do not have, if you have not figured out an emergency business, what do you do? I think Michael Bangua, what you need to do is actually save up, even if it's not business, save money that can cushion you as you exit employment. Yeah. And what Bernice said, it was also spoken by the 2 entrepreneurs we hosted a while back, who are talking about the transition and the need to speak to your family and prepare them for any eventuality. If you're seeing it happening at your workplace, speak to your wife, speak to your kids and let them know. So I have seen our sponsor, hey Frank, today you're generous, has also decided to award Ann Kisuya and Joram Chege for the 2 trainings that they have suggested on the chat. So Angela Kisuya wants to do performance management and Joram wanted to do something. He just said interested. So there you go, guys. So allow me to just end this here. Thank you, Bernice, for the candid conversation. Thank you for guiding my people, because these are my people. Thank you. I'm sure we have combined our people, my people, and your people. Everybody is here. So we really appreciate your time. And if you have not answered your question and it's really burning, kindly get in touch with me or Bernice. She's called Barnett Karanja on LinkedIn. Barnett Karanja. Yeah,
Barnett Karanja. Barnett Karanja. You'll see it there.
Yeah, so
yeah, Barnett's a few. They'll see me.
So Barnett Karanja, you'll see. And if, in case you can't, you can always get in touch with me. I always tell my people, I can always get you there. Somebody has already sent your link. So thank you very much, Charity. You're always very helpful. And allow me to just always honor our partners. And I can see, Bernadette, you can engage in the chat to see the accolades you're receiving for this evening. So this webinar is brought to you by Atara Solutions, courtesy of Balcon Housing. Some people were asking, how do we know about the next webinar? We normally post it on our social media pages, Atara Solutions, ATARAH. I also put it on my LinkedIn, CHRP Grace Nzula on LinkedIn, or Atara Solutions YouTube channel, not YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. So you'll find the link on how to join the next one. Next week, I said we are discussing passion profit. We have Frida Owinga, who will take us through passion profit. So if you're looking to invest, Balcon Housing is your people. They have learned for you as they're helping us bring these webinars to you, as well as Kapula Mintito. Just let me recognize this, my good people here. We have Kapula Mintito, Current Technology, Stallion Construction Company, Balcon Housing, Career Management Center, Favored Cakes and Caterers, Geotrace Limited, Shishi Naturals, JC Beauty. Actually, Violet, or what is her name? Violet Shisiali. Violet has joined us on Facebook for almost 10 weeks now. Violet, I'm gonna award you a gift hamper from JC Beauty. I hope you're on Team National. And if you're not, may you can bless somebody, or you can get your facial products by JC Natural. So get in touch with me. Today I'm in a generous mood. Hata sijapeana vitu mingi hivyo in a while. So I'm just trying to get back on. I was on YouTube. Now I'm trying to get back on Zoom and I cannot. Okay, very good. So thank you very much. We have Shishi Natural. Oh my God, I'm gonna be logged out. All right, bye, good people. Before I'm logged out, okay, there's a cancel option, but I don't know what I did, and I ended up just losing everything. Oh wait, I am sharing my screen. Let me stop share. There we go. So thank you very much. Yes, you can get in touch with Barnett on LinkedIn. You can get in touch with me as well. So asante sana Barnett for being with us, and thank you our partners. Thank you our audience. We wouldn't do this without you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and go on and catch up. We have so much knowledge. Those people who are looking for funding, the other 2 days, 2 weeks ago, we hosted the CEO of the Youth Development Fund, and he spoke about how we can access this fund. Next month, we are hosting the CEO of the Women Fund. We're also going to host the CEO of Uwezo Fund, because these are affirmative funds for us as Kenyans, and we need to know how to access them. So thank you very much, Barnett, for the work you're doing. Thank you, the audience, for always tuning in. Please follow us on Instagram at Tara Solutions, like our Facebook page at Tara Solutions, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Get It Right with the Tara Solutions, and we shall see you next Tuesday, same time, same place, from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. as we look at Passion Profit. I am really excited and looking forward. So Barnett, always a pleasure. Let's keep doing what we're doing, and I'm sure we shall collaborate on more on other projects. So thank you very much, and
thank you everyone.
Yes. Grace, what's your LinkedIn handle? It's CHRPK Grace Nzula. It starts with CHRPK Grace Nzula. Maureen, thank you for being with us. Thank you guys. And have yourselves a lovely, lovely night.